Hi, gorgeous people. We're here once again to do a clearing on the fear of getting it wrong. And this fear of getting it wrong often ties into the fear of public speaking as well. So whilst in the fear of public speaking, you have things like fear of judgment, fear of being humiliated, nobody wants to listen to me, I don't have anything interesting to say, fear of being judged, have I just said that? We also have the fear of getting it wrong. What happens if I say something that's wrong and they shout out fake, or they call me a failure, or any of that? That's also a fundamental part of that fear of public speaking, the fear of getting it wrong, the fear of speaking out in case I get it wrong. And that tends to stem from growing up in a childhood where, particularly with a narcissistic parent or parents, where you've been told, no, you're wrong all the time, or whatever you're doing that's not right, that's rubbish, you're wrong. And then you grow up not wanting to speak, being afraid to speak. So it can apply to a lot of people, and even to school experiences as well. So let's get stuck into this and make sure you're 100% open to receiving healing. Know that this is going to really help you. And let's do this. Oh, I've got a bit of a cold, so excuse me if I sound a bit... Right, so here we go. Fear of getting it wrong is 0 positive, 100 negative. And remember, in this system, we want everything, no matter what it is, 100 positive, 0 negative. And it's at spirit status, which is just one above incarnational level. And we want it to be all the way up to the top of there and all the way up to there to radiant love, new paradigm level as an absolute minimum. So I'm just going to ask your high self teams to do a clearing on that, to make it, to raise it up to 100 positive, down to 0 negative. So a preliminary clearing. So it's this bit and the mop up where the bulk of the programs are cleared. So we want to be operating from at least new paradigm, radiant love level as an absolute minimum. I hope you're all keeping well, looking after yourselves. Lots of self-nurturing going on. I've started wearing, I don't know, many of you probably already do that, this shungite pendant, so you can see here. I've had a lot of friends and colleagues who have been getting a lot of strange things, myself included. Another sudden cold within 3 months, which is very, very, very unusual for me. So with all the electromagnetic stuff around, I used to wear the electromagnetic stuff, all sorts of crystals and orgonite and all sorts of stuff years ago, and then I stopped wearing it, but I'm back to now wearing shungite because we just don't know what's out there with 5G and various other EMFs, etc. So we want to be clearing levels of radiation in our body as well. So iodine, lots of sea kelp, seaweed, Atlantic dulse, stuff like that can really help to clear out the radiation in the body. Right, okay, so we've done the initial clearing. Where are we going first? Chart 6A, which is master programs. And so we've got failure. And because this is just a taster group clearing, I'm not going to go into any details with this because obviously I can't go into other lifetimes, and it's very rarely needed now. Forsaken. Self-punishment. Anything else? Do they have past life roots? Yeah, we don't need to dwell in past lives. So let's just clear those master programs and any discordant energy away from everybody. Failure, forsaken, self-punishment. Remember, this is clearing the fear of being wrong. So it ties into the fear of speaking out, especially if you were shut down a lot as a child as well. So this is just a group taster session. If you want to train in this, I don't teach this. I've got other plans in my life. But there are some wonderful teachers out there. So the teacher that taught me 10, 11 years ago was Malabika Shaw. So that's malabikashaw.com, Malabika Shaw. She trained with Robert E. Detzler, who was the main founder of this system. And his books are The Freedom Path and Soul Recreation, and he has one on spiritual healing as well. Robert E. Detzler, that's Detzler. He founded this system back in the late 80s. He was a pastor originally, and then was given a choice by the church to either continue doing his healing or to work for the church. You'd think the two would be combined, but apparently not. So he left the church to do this kind of healing and had a wider flock, a wider congregation, if you like. So it's based on the true spiritual meaning of the Bible. But it's not just for people who are religious or anything like that. This is the whole spiritual, the consciousness. This is all about consciousness. This is all about the true meaning and raising the consciousness, clearing away anything that's holding us back, any behaviors, programs, emotional attachments, curses, intentions, which are what curses are. They're just intentions. So let's have a look. Soul energy programming. We have a dysfunction of thought, programs that the soul is unaware of. I'm not going into any depths of these at all. I'm just going to ask that they're cleared from you. My personal clearings that I'm doing now seem to be getting longer and longer. Incredible, really. But they're certainly getting into quite some depth at the moment. But I'm pretty thorough with my checklists. I'm pretty thorough at asking questions, and I have various checklists that I go through for every personal clearing that I do. I offer an SRT package rather than one-offs, and all the details are in the details below. If you want to work one-to-one with me online, live on Zoom, then I don't use the SRT. I use all of the other skills I have, which is a very, very, very effective. You can have a look again on my website. But it's basically a mixture really of therapy, healing, coaching, intuitive wisdom, all sorts. My background is in hypnotherapy, NLP, theta healing, EMDR, trauma, simplified protocol for attachment trauma, EFT, I've said EFT, NLP, haven't I? And various others. Anyway, various others. You can have a look on my website. I've been doing this a long time. Right, okay, there's a lot of clearing there. Chart 19, which is how to change your life, and we normally look into a bit more research with this one. So let's just see what's coming up. Anything on the inside? Letting go of the old. So there's a block to letting go of the old. Do I need to research anything more than for the group? No. Are you able to clear this for people that are watching? Okay, we're just going to ask the high self teams to clear that. Normally I'd go into finding out where that block has originated, what programs go with it. But we're just going to ask that the teams, for the purpose of this group taster, just go in and investigate on your behalf and clear it on your behalf there without me needing to research it. So that's good. So when you have SRT clearings with me, when you buy a package, I will do the clearing remotely. You don't need to be there. Generally it's weekly I do them, but we can stretch them out. So as long as they're used within 3 months, that's absolutely fine. And I do SRT clearing 1 and then 2 and then 3, and on straight after the last one, I will do the brain/spiritual restructuring. And that removes negative concrete karmic statements from you that were downloaded to you in the first 4 years of your life. And that can really make a change. That can really change things. And it's not until you look back to when you had the clearing done, you see that everything has begun to change since then. So still clearing away, slowing down. Okay, so we're next. 23, which is spiritual realms programs. And again, these are just very short clearings to help you, but nonetheless still powerful. Godhead elevations. So let's just get that cleared away. Clearing the Godhead elevations there. So Godhead elevations, this is, I'll read what it says, the official thing in the book. If they point at the Godhead and then move slightly upward, they are referring to the elevations within the Godhead. So if we go back to chart 3, I'll show you. There's the Godhead there on levels of consciousness. I don't know if you can see it on this chart. It's back to front. So the elevations there. Okay. When this, let's go back to that. When this was revealed, they showed a glass elevator going up through space. Spirit says they are not levels, they are elevations, as in elevator. Once the soul enters those elevations, the movement upward is quite rapid. So once you get above the Godhead here, the movement is quite rapid. So we're going above here. Once upon a time, this was the top of the chart with this system, but we've expanded so much that there's the luminous spirit wellspring, luminous spirit wellspring, grand eye hole, and then we've got all these new levels on top, and then I think it goes 100 and something feet off the page as well. I picked up New Atlantean level a few years ago there, but there's probably, you know, hundreds of levels above that, or elevations above that. So, but we want to be at minimum always a radiant love new paradigm level to operate from. It's the right level of consciousness. If you want to train in SRT, contact the Spiritual Response Organization. I think it's sra.org, I think, in the States. So if you don't want to train with my teacher, she teaches online, I think, so still. There's a lovely teacher also in the UK, Maria Vreits-Gulika. Don't ask me to spell that, but the SRA will have a list of teachers, and you can always put a comment below and I'll list any websites or anything that anyone wants. But there are teachers all over the world of SRT, and there's also spiritual restructuring as well. Wonderful. It's a fabulous system. It's really good at like defragmenting, you know, the mind, I think. It just clears the mind of all that noise and all that chatter, and sometimes you find that, you know, you do a clearing and then you're put in a situation, it's almost like testing it, and you find that you're not responding in the same way as you did before. So you feel like, I don't know if there's been a change or not, but I've been put in this situation and I'm acting differently. And that's how you know it's something has shifted within you. So It can be very subtle, these clearings, but sometimes emotion can come out of nowhere as well. Right, where are we going? The veil is broken. Okay, so it's a belief system. Illness is only an illusion. Anything else in here? Mankind is blameless. Again, blocks to that. So let's just clear those away. Every SRT practitioner will work in their own way as well. We all work a little bit differently. And that's the beauty of any healer, I think. No matter what you've been trained in, whatever you've been trained in is a tool. And it's up to that consciousness of the individual, what they do with that tool, and the ability of that individual. And we're all a little bit different. We all work very, very differently. So always go with who you're drawn to, who you resonate with. And you might be resonating with someone, you know, for one particular year, and then you might decide to resonate with somebody else another year and then come back to that other person later or whatever. So and that's how it goes. It's always a combination, I think, of healing methods that get us to where we want to get to, rather than just one thing. Which is why I find this particular system works really well with my online one-to-one Zoom sessions. It's almost as if this approaches it from a left brain, if you know what I mean. And when I work directly with the client on Zoom, I'm using other methods and tapping much more into the right brain. But the two combined just work. They complement each other so brilliantly. Although you can use this in a very creative way. So although it's very methodical, and the way I go through it can be very methodical, it can be used in a very, very creative way to heal. It's all about asking the right questions. And sometimes it's about, hang on, that doesn't feel right, using your intuition whilst you're going through this. And again, asking the right questions. Sometimes it's about digging a little bit deeper, you know. So etheric body, we're just going to clear and balance that. Etheric body, subconscious mind here. I'm talking a lot today, considering I've got a little bit of a cold. Sorry about that. So just open the book on Oversoul. So when the soul is created, it has a soul family, much like we have human families. It is part of an oversoul. An oversoul may consist of from 3 to an infinite number of souls. The number is always divisible by 3. There you go, a little bit of extra info for you from the system. Now, something that came up the other day, let me just get to the next chart first. Okay, I'll tell you about it. We're going back to chart 6A. So we've got another master program coming up. Another one of failure, which has come up. Okay, does it have past life roots? Can we just clear it? Yes. So let's just clear failure. Master programs and discordant energy of failure for you at all levels of consciousness in chart 3. So one thing, it doesn't come up very often, but it came up with a client the other day, which is the regenerative gland. And the regenerative gland, it is an invisible gland that's behind the liver, and it's known as the seat of the soul. The gland regenerates the life force in the body. And when the soul enters the physical body, it connects to that gland as a focal point. There are 7 lines that extend from the regenerative gland to other parts of the body. 3 go to the head and connect to the pituitary, the pineal, and the hypothalamus, the third eye. The other 4 lines connect the soul to the heart, solar plexus, pancreas, and ground. Spirit says it is a feed point from spirit to nurture and balance the whole body. Spirit says the gland is nurtured by every positive word or by other positive words, thoughts and emotions. It is also depleted by discordant thoughts, words and emotions. It loses its effectiveness as a person ages, but can be stirred up by asking high self to do the work. So with that knowledge, if you're feeling very, very depleted in energy, just ask your high self teams or command your high self teams to clear the regenerative gland. Ask them to do the work. You don't have to use the charts to do that. Ask them. Remember, you're a sovereign being. You're powerful. So ask your high self teams to look at your regenerative gland and make sure it's operating effectively and boosted, whatever it is that your body needs. Okay, anything else? Should we go to mop up now? So just do a quick mop up then. Again, if this is a personal clearing, it'll be a lot more in detail than that. We're just doing a quick mop up where the bulk of the clearing takes place by your charts on the other side of life, using their 200 plus charts. They have a lot more charts, the teams that I work with. Right, are we done? Yeah. Any other business? No. Is high self happy source? We're happy. Yeah, we're hold. So let's have a look and see where we are. 100 positive, 0 negative. That feels fine. It's definitely on this chart. Lovely. We're right up here. All done. Sorry, I talked a lot on that one, but hoping it helps you, especially those that have the fear of public speaking. It does tie in a lot with not wanting to be a failure, that fear of failure, that energy, but hopefully that will help you. Okay, I will see you on the next clearing. Don't do more than 2 of these a day, and take care of yourselves. Bye.